weekend, and whatever you're doing, I hope you're doing it the best way you can. Now, who have I got in today's program? His name is Baker Kiyingi. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
he is Uganda Muslim Youth UK community, Uganda Muslim Community
Community.
UK president.
Yes.
Um,
Youth president.
Youth president.
Yeah.
I beg your pardon. He's doing a great job in a sense that with what is happening with crime at the moment in this country and with what's happening in London today, you know, the statistics don't make very good reading. So it's we need to do something about it, not just me or you, but all the entire community. So I just want to start first and foremost by praising him for the job that he's doing in a sense that, you know, kids are kept playing, kept doing various activities so that they are off the streets. Now, could you tell us about the work that you do?
Yeah. So basically, we were within our community. We realized that basically our organization has been going on for a very long time, but mainly it's been bombarded, or mainly the only people that have been using it, the benefits of it are the elders, and there's been a gap missing, which were the youths. And due to the things that are happening, everything that's going on right now within London, because that's where we are right now, within the United Kingdom, everything is like unbelievable, really, because we see kids killing each other.
Yeah.
A lot of knife crimes happening, you know. Kids right now, they don't respect their parents and stuff like that. So
It's like a war zone, yeah.
it's like a war zone. It's like
Yeah.
you're watching a film.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
sometimes when I listen to the news, I'm like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah,
I can't
so-
believe it, you know,
yeah,
some
yeah.
of the stories. But so we noticed, actually, not even me in particular, but the elders noticed that there's a group missing, and that was the youths. So the parents were coming to use the benefits within the community, but they weren't bringing the children with
Yeah.
them. So they decided to set up a youth department,
Okay.
which people put their names forward. People they voted, and I was elected to lead the youth. So basically, we've started. This was in 2017. So we've started various activities, various events. So we noticed that how can we gain the trust of these youths? How can we bring them closer to us? So basically, we are basically bridging the gap between the elders and the youths, because obviously most of our elders, they were brought up from a different
Yeah, yeah.
culture, different background, different countries. So when they see what's happening here, they're like, "There's no way this is you know." They don't believe it, and they're in denial basically. So they don't know how bad it really is because they have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of, because it's a bit difficult, I mean, for anybody out there, knowing and thinking, well, I've got a son, I've got a daughter out there, what should I do? Because very little advice is going out
Definitely.
from schools, from the government sometimes, and there isn't anything out there.
There's
If I could
nothing, yeah.
suggest as a parent, maybe, but other parents, maybe there is a places where one can look. How does somebody suddenly find you, and then what kind of work does it involve getting them?
Getting them. So
Yeah.
basically, we need to find out what they're interested in.
Okay.
So basically, at the same time, these youths they're looking out for stuff to do. Because as a youth, you're energetic.
Yeah.
But if you see where we live right now, mostly the kids, sometimes they spend most of their times indoors, from home to school.
Yeah.
Home to school. So there's no time where they can play. So all this energy sometimes is used the wrong way.
Yeah, okay.
Whereby if you give them something to do the right way, they can use that energy to do something productive. So what we're doing is we're trying to create an empire within the youths, because us as Africans, as our background is, any child is raised by a village.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
you are raised by a village. So if this child is not amongst a village or amongst any organization, or basically every youth needs to belong somewhere.
Yeah.
So when you grow up, if the family parents are working, the friends are the only options.
Yeah.
And if those friends are maybe doing something wrong, or they're of bad character, your child is also going to end up joining them, because you as a parent, you're working, sometimes sending money back home.
Yeah.
So obviously, what do you expect the child to do?
Yeah.
The only people that are willing to listen are the people on the streets. And in most cases, those are not the right people that we want our children or
No, I attended the seminar
Yeah.
that you organized
Yeah.
last year.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very good seminar, and there was a lot of discussions from both the parents and the children, and I learned quite a lot when I was there. And I want to thank you again for that seminar, for organizing that seminar. It was very, very good. Um, but the key question, which wasn't answered properly then, was obviously if there are gangs out there,
Yeah.
and this had nothing to do with you or any other parents or anything, but the question was always being, how do we prevent our children from going into gangs? Because this is one of the areas which we really need to tackle as parents.
Yeah.
Any ideas?
Yeah. One thing is give them identity.
Identity.
Identity. Most of
Okay.
these youths, they lack identity. They don't know where they come from. They don't know. Basically, they see their parents. They're speaking a different language.
Yeah.
The children have not been taught their native language. So literally, all they know is what's here. The parents have not told the youths why they should count themselves lucky to be in this country.
Okay.
They've not told them their story. So parents are not communicating with their children. Because if you communicate to your child and tell them why you're here in this country, why they should count themselves lucky to be in this country, then they will see why they should be doing what they should be doing, why they should not be doing wrong, why they should appreciate wearing shoes. Because had they been born in Africa somewhere, there's a chance they might not have shoes.
at
You
all.
know.
Yeah.
So if you don't tell the youths why they should count themselves lucky, they're not. Everything's on a silver plate
Yeah.
in this country, so they don't know everything that's given to them. They feel like it should be. They don't know that you might actually not have it. You know, you shouldn't have it.
Yeah.
You know, but
It's-
count
it's-
yourself
it's-
lucky that you have it.
It's a must. They have to have it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the parents need to understand what is happening. It's actually deeper than actually most of the parents think.
Okay.
Because to me, I have a saying that I normally say when we're on the radio station or something like that, where I do most of my work is charity begins at home.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. It's a
if the
famous
home
word, yeah.
exactly,
The
which
English,
is
yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
So if you as a home, you're not tact outside, it's going to be easy for your child
If
to
you
go
fail at
astray.
home.
If you fail at home,
Yeah.
your child is going to be lured. They're going to feel like, you know what, these guys are listening outside. So, and especially if you see most of the gangs right now, they're concentrating on the youths. They're concentrating on the youngsters. Now they're staying as early as 7
Whoa.
because they believe that no one's going to actually think that a 7-year-old can do anything or can hold weed or can hold cocaine or something. So they use them to transport drugs and that. So that way they're locking them very early. They're getting them in very early. So what we need to do is try and give these youths identity. Tell them where they come from.
By the way, Baker comes from Uganda. And I just wanted to point that out, that when you're mentioning home, growing up in Uganda and seeing the difference between the two, growing up in Uganda and looking at somebody growing up in this country, that's why the reference is always there, that at least they haven't seen the difference of what it is like growing up in Uganda, whether you have the money or not, and growing up in this country. That is where the difference is. You need to know that, and the youth don't know that.
They don't know.
Now, the fear of not fearing the law, this
Yeah.
issue was tackled in the seminar.
Yeah.
Most of them don't fear the law.
They don't fear the law.
Suggestions on whether the law, the increment of detentions and so on should have increased is one of the things which had been suggested by
definitely.
one of the
Basically-
parents. You think that would work?
Basically, the youths right now, they've lost hope.
Yeah.
And once you lose hope, you don't care. So whatever happens, whatever comes their way, they don't care. And once you find that they're with their friends, they're in a group, they feel like whatever, they don't care. They feel like their friends got their back.
Yeah.
You know, so, but if you catch them on their own, you can actually speak to them. They can be open to you, you know, and then try get into their head. But once they're with their friends or once they'll have someone telling, because you know, gangs,
Yeah.
they know that someone's going to have their back.
Yeah.
Which in some cases is not the case, because once you get caught or whatever, whoever you think has got your back, they're going to actually try and step away from you because they don't want to get caught as well. You know, so what we need to do is we need to give them which is what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're giving them another option.
Okay.
That's what we're doing. We're giving these youths another option. We're trying to get them involved within the community. Like I said earlier, as Africans, we are raised by a village.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you grew up from back home. You know, you knew your whole village. You know, whatever. Everyone in your own village, everyone knew.
Everybody knows.
Your neighbor is your mom. Your neighbor is your auntie.
Yeah,
they can tell you off. They can whoop you, and then you go home. You get whooped as well.
It's a different story here.
But here it's a different story.
I know.
Someone leaves their home. They don't speak to no one until when they get to school.
Yeah.
You know, no one's telling them off. No one is telling them, oh, tie your laces. Oh, you've done this wrong. No one is watching out for your child.
Yeah.
Here they have CCTVs, whatever, but that's for criminals. Back home, the CCTVs, your aunties, like neighbors and all that, you know, they all watch out for you. So as you're growing up, the whole village is bringing you up. But here, it's only the parents that are doing that job. And it's not easy because with so many cats, they've had to go back to work.
Yeah, I know.
So the parents are at work, but the youths are, because there's no one at home.
The thing is, I wouldn't want parents to start thinking. I think it's the blame now shifts to parents rather than to the student, to the youth themselves. The blame shifts from
the blame.
Because you raise the child.
Yeah.
Now, because you raise the child, if the child misbehaves or does anything wrong, then it comes back to you as a parent.
As a parent, you should take responsibility for your own child.
Yeah. So that's where you're looking at.
That's where I'm looking. That's what you should, because to me, I believe
so the question should be train the parents.
Train the parents, because the major problem is parents have grown up in a different society, different way of upbringing. So somehow you kind of feel for them because this is all new to them. You know, this is all like the way basically in Africa, you're not meant to ask your parents why.
Yeah.
Here in the UK, children ask why. Before you tell them, they need to know why do they need to wash up? Why do they need to do this? Why do they need to do that? They ask you why. It's okay, just explain to them because that's the society they're living in. Explain to them why you should not be doing this, why you should not be hanging around with this friend. Sometimes parents are like, I don't want to see your friends here again, but you don't tell your child why. So what is he going to do? He's going to go meet them outside, and you don't know what they're going to get up to.
Okay, what advice would you give a parent, for example, now? I know this is probably not one of your areas. For example, if he discovers the son has a knife, or he discovered the son has started misbehaving and is going out with a group, and is into that sort of situation where it's high time, he's a teenager, start handling him. How do you advise a parent to what can he or she do in a situation like this? Because some parents listening now or looking, at you and a youth leader.
As a parent, I'd advise don't just jump in if you're not prepared.
Okay.
Once you see a knife, first take a deep breath, sit down, relax, think. Because otherwise, if you just jump in, shouting, all this, things could go wrong. Because right now, these youths don't respect their parents.
Okay.
So you never knew your child might end up stabbing you because of the heat of the moment, But just take a deep breath, calm yourself down before you actually jump in there to ask why your child has a knife. Communication, the way you speak to your child. Don't just shout, speak to them why. Ask yourself why. Ask them why are they holding it. Speak to them. Try and find out the reasons as to why they have that knife, because that knife could have stabbed someone. Maybe he's keeping it for someone. Maybe he's actually using it to protect themselves, which is wrong. Because most of these youth, once you see them with a knife, they're like, oh, it's for protection. For protection. But
if it's protection, you're willing. You're
exactly.
Able to
that means
it.
If you have it, you can use it.
You can use it.
And that's why some of them end up using it when they wouldn't have used it. So them walking with that knife, it means like they can use it. And also it's a way that you can get targeted because you got a knife. Once someone comes, because these kids nowadays, they're arguing over petty things. When you find out the reasons why they stab each other, it's actually petty stuff. Someone gets stabbed because they go to a different school.
Okay.
Someone gets stabbed because they looked at each other. So it's petty things, and it's like, why? Just because they don't know nothing else. Right now, knife crime has become a fashion.
Yeah, I know.
It's fashion right now.
Yeah.
They feel like to hold a knife, you're a big man. To hold a knife, you're big.
Someone
you're this, you're
has got
that.
to respect
exactly.
me
Someone can respect me because I've got a knife. Some of them feel like it's to protect themselves, but you're making yourself vulnerable by holding that knife. Because you can actually, you don't know what you're capable of. So what the parent needs to do is speak to your child and ask them why. If you can't do it, get someone else to come in and help you. But one thing they should do is be part of a community. Seriously, get them active, get them to do something productive. You know, communication at home
Yeah.
is key, because when you find out the major problem is at home, we are not communicating at home.
Okay, what are the major, when they come to you, for example, I bring my son or I bring my daughter to you, and this is your community, then they start coming every now and then, or weekends or whenever. What are some of the first things that you do when they come to you?
First of all, we speak to them.
They don't bring their problems straight away.
No,
but you
no,
discover them.
no
You
child,
discover them as you go along. Yeah.
No child will tell you their problem straight away. You just have to speak to them, find out what they're doing. Don't get to the problem straight away.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you first speak to them. You don't even need to mention the problem. You just need to like speak to them. Go easy. You know, just relate to them, speak to them, find out what they're doing, what they like doing, so that you can also maybe give them some advice on what they should be doing.
Okay.
And then you never know. Sometimes they come up and tell you like, oh, I've got a knife, but I don't know what to do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
What should I do? Then you need to find out what to tell them.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Give them the best advice, you know? But they're not going to straight away come in like you've just met them and then they tell you, I've got this and that. No. If you relate to them, communicate to them, speak to them, they'll open up. Because most of these youths are looking out for someone to speak to. But there's no one. Literally no one.
Okay. Now, does the being in your organization also involve advising some of the parents?
Yes.
You call them and you advise
Yes, we
them?
do parents' conversions whereby parents come and they speak and they talk about the problems they're facing at home or what's happening at home.
Okay.
So that they can all advise one another, and then we bring in professionals that can speak to them,
Okay.
give them advice on what they should do and stuff like that. So in a way, we're trying to help the parents and the youth as well. So we're basically bridging that gap.
Yeah.
Because there's a big gap between the youth and the parents. It's massive. And that's why most of these problems are happening, because
Okay, I do agree with that when you say there's a big gap there. The problem is, how do we narrow that gap? And why is the gap there?
basically we can narrow that gap by being part of a community.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
because some parents, their relationship with their children has literally gone.
Totally.
You know,
deteriorated.
yeah, exactly. But if you find that you get yourself part of a community, you know, be able to do something, bring your child with you to that community.
Okay.
They can actually, you might not be able to help your child, but
Someone
like
else might.
someone
yeah.
else might be able to. Like I keep telling people, one conversation can change your life. That's all it takes. But us as Africans, I should say, black people mainly, we don't network.
Ah.
You know, we do not
Okay.
network. You know, we don't network. But you can only network if you're part of something,
Yeah.
part of a community.
Yeah.
That way you can actually, maybe you the mom or the dad, you might not be the solution, but then
Yeah.
if you come and be part of us,
Yeah. Yeah.
one of us is going to have the skills to help your child, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
One of us is going to know what to say to your child, you know. So that's why we try to be part of a community, to try and give another option,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, which is what's lacking at the moment.
Yeah, but most parents would say we are working to provide for them, and we are doing our level best in whatever we're doing, but we need the respect as parents.
Yeah.
Now, the fact that I take my child to so and so, I will look as if I failed. This is how they view it. Yeah? Because this is how, especially younger parents,
young
would
parents,
view it.
yeah.
I said, look, how can I give my child to Steve to speak to Steve? I think I'll do a better
You'll
job.
do a
trying.
better job, yeah.
It's that kind of. How do we get that mentality out? Because it's also part of the problem.
If you want it so bad, you shouldn't feel embarrassed.
Ah, really?
You know? Yeah. If you want it so, if you believe that
Yeah.
that's the option you have, it's worth trying. If you feel like everything's failed, why not? What have you got to lose?
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
nothing. You haven't got nothing to lose. Just don't just bring your child to be a part of it. You also come and be a part of it.
Ah, okay.
Do you get what I mean?
see your
Don't just bring your youth and just dump him there.
Yeah.
You know, you also come and be part of it. You know, you shouldn't be embarrassed, because as a parent, you just have to keep going. You know, you have to try every single option
Yeah.
for the benefit of your child. You know, but just be part of something. Most of these kids, they have so much energy.
Yeah.
So much. And in most cases, if you find that you want your child to be at home, your child is not going to be at home from morning to
Like
on
a
a Saturday,
prisoner, like
like
a
a prisoner.
prisoner.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
you need to
yeah.
give them something to do.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what we're trying to do. Give them activities, trying to get them to gain identity. You know that okay, I'm Ugandan. Okay, African or I'm Muslim. I'm this. You know, I'm a Christian. Just let them gain that. Let them belong somewhere. Let them know why.
Why they're there.
Yeah.
The question of identity is being discussed, has been discussed on a number of occasions here and in other channels. And it is something that most people look at and they say, well, they're British. They're born here. Most of them are born here. And they are looking at the status of why should I start again confusing his young mind and saying, look, you're Ugandan, you're Kenyan, and this is the language spoken in Kenya. When in schools, they are, that sort of thing. Again, some parents think it's a diversion.
To me, it's wrong. To me, it's wrong. You know, as you should never be embarrassed of where you come from. You know, like that's their identity, whether you like it or not. They will never be treated as British. They will never be treated as white. You know, you are black, you are African. Accept it and try act that way. The British have their own culture, and we also have our own culture.
Yeah, yeah.
The way us blacks should be treated is not the way a white person should be treated. Their culture, we might think, the problem we face as black people, I should say, is when we see the white culture, we think, oh, that's the best way, that's the good way, that's the modern way. But no, that's their culture. We also have our own culture. The only problem with us is we believe our culture is backwards.
Oh, really?
You know, we believe that our culture, oh, that's ancient. If someone tells you, oh, you should maybe bow down or kneel down for your mom, you think that, oh, that's ancient times. But no, you need to show your parents respect.
Yeah.
You know, so you can't start showing your child all this when they're old. You need to start from a very young age.
From the beginning.
From the beginning. But it's never too late. You know, if it's late, we just start now. But the problem is we believe that they're still young or we can't teach them about where they come from. No. Speak to them from when they're young. Because now you see drug dealers are targeting them from the age of 7.
Yeah.
So why can't you start treating your child
from that
age? Yeah.
One issue which is obviously has been dominating for quite some time. Obviously, the identity issue is a big one, but also the issue of single parents. They are single fathers, they're single mothers, and the whole issue of bringing them to the community and the time is a major factor. Now, if you are to advise any parent, say, look, you may be a single mother, a single father, but we have such and such times. Can you bring the child on such and such a days, and you know, rather than the child being indoors, if he's old enough to take care of himself, bring him here. So we have community kind of things that. How do you advise parents on this?
One thing is, maybe my first advice would be, as parents, you know, most parents, they probably, like you said, mentioned single family homes. Like, one thing they should do is, if you have a problem with the father of your child, let that problem be between you and the father.
Okay.
Don't bring that problem with the child. The problem most parents do is they tell their children the problems they have with their dad, or, for example, in most cases, the children are staying with their mothers. So the mother tells the child every single bad thing or burden the dad was, every you know,
not all of them, don't generalize.
no, I'm just saying, I'm not saying they're doing it, I'm just saying some of them, they do it, you know. They're like, you know what, your dad was this, your dad was that, your dad was... So the child stops respecting the father. So if you're going to work and you want the dad to come and take the child to the youth center or whatever, the child's going to be like, nah, I don't want him to take me. You know, but so there needs to be, even if the father is still alive, let them be a part of the child. That's the first message.
I should say that I think basically between the mother and the father, and that role can be played by the two of them. And someone can simply advise them, and you can't force them. Like what they say, you can take a cow to the river, but you can't force it to drink.
Force them,
No, you can't, because at the end of the day, it's up to it. It might want to drink, it might not.
It might not want to.
So I believe most of that goes again. But I don't know whether part of that community, part of it can be done by your organization.
definitely, yeah.
You speak to them. Do you speak to them individually or you speak to them separately?
We do sessions whereby everyone, if a youth feels like they need to tell you something, they'll come and tell you. But obviously, when you see them, you speak to them, find out how they're doing, what they're doing, try and relate to them, you know.
Yeah.
But if they have an issue or something, they'll come and tell you. For us, what we do is we organize events for them, we organize activities for them, so that they can
What
come
are
and
some
be
of the
busy.
activities? Yeah.
Some of the activities, we organize trips.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
last year we went to South End, we went to the beach, took them there so that they can enjoy themselves, be part of something.
Okay.
Now we've started a project that we want them to meet every 2 weeks, whereby they can visit each other's homes, but in groups,
Yeah, yeah.
whereby they can learn. Obviously, we're Muslims, so they learn the deen, and then at the same time they learn an activity. For example, peeling bananas,
Yeah,
matoke,
yeah,
learning how to cook, or maybe they can go bowling,
Yeah.
or maybe they can learn about anything that happens within their culture,
Okay,
within the
okay.
culture. So we're trying to give them activities so that they can know why they're Africans, why they should be doing this. And through that, most of these kids actually are facing a lot of problems. Most of them are being bullied.
Really?
Yes, most of them are being abused. Most of them are being forced to do things they should not be doing at school.
Yeah.
But obviously, a child, if that relationship is not there with the parent,
Yeah.
they're not going to
They
come and
won't-
say that
they
to the
won't
parents.
tell them, yeah.
They won't
tell them, yeah.
You know, but if we relate to them and speak to them and communicate to them, they can come and be like, you know what, this is what's happening, this is what's happening, because they will relate to you more, because we've been to the schools here, we know what happens there. But the parents, they've not been to the primary and secondary schools here, so they have no idea. Once you tell them something, they will feel like, no way,
Yeah.
that can happen, you know.
Yeah.
But most of these kids are bullied into joining gangs. But obviously, they're not going to go to the mom, oh, I'm being bullied because
To join,
this is.
yeah.
The mom's going to react, go to the school.
Yeah.
Before you know it, it's a long story, and then that child might end up getting stabbed.
Yeah.
You know, but if we relate to them, then we can communicate and see how we can help them. If they open up, then we can.
I've seen that all youth are invited, regardless
Yeah,
of which
regardless
religion.
of which religion. Yeah, we
regardless
don't.
of-
Yeah, we've got people that are non-Muslims that come, so we welcome anyone. Even if you're non-Muslim, you come and take part. Basically, be part of the activities.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah. Now, the issue now also of calling experts to talk to them is a major issue. And what I saw at the seminar,
Yeah.
when the police came
Yeah.
and they were talking to the police, and one of the major issue was obviously they fear the police. Because
Definitely.
whatever the police, there's that issue of the police. And
Yeah, they fear the police because, to me, I keep saying this. If a child does not respect their parents, they're not going to respect anyone else.
Yeah.
That's why I think 2 weeks ago, you saw a child punched up a teacher and literally
Yeah.
the teacher was bleeding.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
because they don't respect the parents.
Yeah.
If the parents teach these kids respect, if the child does not respect you as a parent, they're not going to respect anyone on the streets.
Of course.
Outside of a home, they're not going to respect anyone. But if the parents try and gain back that respect from their children, get that child to respect you. You know, don't take nonsense. Just get that child to respect you. They'll respect everyone outside.
But the law here says you are not supposed to touch a child. And
Yeah.
this is one of the biggest problems we face. Because if you do that, and the children are told at school that, listen, your dad is not supposed to beat you up. Then your mom is not supposed to do this. So in the end, they know the law. In fact, to a certain extent, they know the law better than you do.
Definitely, yeah, they know.
Now,
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that? Because that's another major issue.
Yeah, they know they shouldn't be disrespected. Basically, they know you can't beat them up.
Yeah.
They know that. But the fact is, there are measures. As a
Okay.
parent, you just need to draw that line. You just need to draw that line. There's a line a parent should draw so that they don't. A child should know. There's a line, basically. As a parent, you should draw a line, and that
Yeah.
child should not cross it.
Okay.
In most cases, parents let their children cross the line, or they're still young. You find visitors come around, the child starts walking around, running over people,
Yeah.
slapping visitors, and then you're like, oh, they're still young. Those are British kids.
Yeah.
You let that child is actually going astray, and you as a parent, you're not taking note. So for everything to accumulate to right now, actually, I've been in a situation whereby a child is actually punching up their parents,
Yeah, yeah,
beating up their parent, abusing their child. All that doesn't just start overnight.
yeah.
It accumulates.
It has been there.
It
for
has
quite
been there
some
for
time,
quite
yeah.
some time, but now it's just exploding. So as a parent, you don't need to beat the child up. Just draw a line. You can have a
Yeah.
relationship with your child,
Yeah.
but you just need to draw that line. That this line should not be crossed. Once that line is crossed once, it will be crossed
It's
again.
again and again.
You know, and
if
again,
nothing is
if
being
nothing is done,
yeah.
that's where it comes to this point whereby you feel like you want to beat up the child. But all of this has been accumulating, and you've just been letting it slide.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a British kids. Oh,
Yeah,
we're in
yeah.
England. Oh, they can do this. No, no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
From a very young age, because right now kids are smart. You find a child 2 years, they can put a password in a phone.
Yeah.
You know, so they're not young.
Yeah.
They're not.
So,
You know,
so
they grow up
someone was
quite
just
quickly.
asking a question. They said, "Look,
Yeah.
why are kids maturing much quicker nowadays than they were?" I don't know whether you're not the right person to answer that question.
No,
He was sort of.
They
yeah.
are maturing because of what's on TV. Most parents turn on the TV and they go do whatever they want to do because now the TV is babysitting these children.
Yeah.
And what if you actually, I don't know if you've got children, if you sit down and watch
Yeah, I
these
do, yeah.
children channels,
Yeah.
if you sit down and watch what's on there,
Yeah.
most of these cartoons are not meant to be for those kids' age.
Yeah.
But now every child is watching cartoons that are above their age.
Yeah, yeah.
Most of these cartoons are not good for these children. Most of them are violent, proper like crazy.
No, you try to tell them
I'm
that. I
telling
think
you,
it's going to be.
You know, so as a
the-
parent, be careful what your child is watching.
Yeah.
Sometimes parents hand their children a phone and it'll keep him quiet.
Yeah, yeah.
The child goes on YouTube. Right now, YouTube, everything is on there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
everything is on there. They listen to anything.
Yeah.
You know, but I heard there's a YouTube for children. Maybe you can put that on for them.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain things on there.
But it's a question. I think you need to venture of what they are watching. You need
Definitely.
you need to look at what they're watching first.
Yeah.
And somewhere then you make a decision that okay, it's fine. Because my daughter is 13. I take her to the movies sometimes over the weekend, but I need to know what sort of movie we're going to watch.
You're gonna watch,
see?
yeah.
So that at the end of the day, it's not a movie that involves something which I feel would be more offensive to her age, and it's written on. This is for between the ages of 15 and
yeah.
you know. So I think it's.
I know most
as
kids
you
don't
say-
even like watching the movies for their own age. They want to watch the ones for the, you know. So as a parent, you just need to be careful what your kids are watching. You know,
Now,
because
when you do seminars,
yeah,
adult seminars,
yeah,
these issues come up constantly. But if you don't bring them up with the examples, I think with most parents it's a different thing. They
different
need
thing,
something
yeah.
they have seen. How do you bring this up with examples?
basically, obviously, there are sessions whereby, obviously, parents get to have a say. They say what problems they're facing. So that way, if you find out that most parents are all in the same boat,
Yeah.
but if they communicate, they can actually find a solution. But obviously, if you stay at home and feel sorry for yourself, nothing's going to be done.
Yeah.
You know, but if you come and communicate to different people, speak to professionals,
Yeah.
there's a way you can discipline your child within the law.
Yeah.
But obviously, the only way you can know that is if you come and speak to people.
Okay.
You know,
Okay, yeah.
don't let your child beat you up, because right now there's parental abuse happening and it's actually dangerous.
Really? Yeah.
Kids are beating up their own parents, which is actually surreal. It's unbelievable, but it's happening.
Okay, I'll probably kill him.
That won't go
It's
down
the wrong
well.
word to say here. Try and
I
beat
know.
me up.
I'm telling you,
Yeah?
a child will come and punch you up. I'm telling you, I've seen parents have told me this.
Yeah.
This problem is happening.
Yeah.
We might be laughing now, but it's actually sad.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if that child does not respect it, they're not going to respect the law.
Yeah. Exactly.
They're not going to
exactly,
respect the law. No
exactly.
way. So
Yeah.
as a parent, you need to make sure that child respects you, that they listen to you.
Yeah.
You know?
The thing is, those who have managed to raise them and are good examples are very rare, are the rare ones.
Yeah,
if you're
definitely,
going to
yeah.
get them to advise the others, I don't know whether you have that kind of solution where you get the parents who have managed to go through with very good kids and so on, so that they can visit other parents
Other
and
parents,
say, this
yeah.
is how the whole issue can
Definitely.
be handled.
It all comes from communicating
Communication
with
yeah.
other parents.
Yeah.
If you isolate yourself and stick your problems to yourself and don't speak to anyone about it, it's going to keep happening. But
Yeah.
obviously, a time comes whereby it has to stop. Otherwise, something's going to go very, very wrong. You know, like you said, probably kill him or whatever. So you know, if it keeps happening,
Yeah,
keeps
yeah.
happening, keeps
Yeah.
happening,
Yeah.
it's
One
gonna
day you might
bust.
snap.
One
Yeah,
day you're gonna
yeah,
snap
yeah.
and do something you wouldn't
Yeah.
have, you would regret.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of communicating and speaking to other parents. You know, speaking to professionals.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
are there willing to help.
Yeah.
Because we get them and they come into our seminars and they speak to the parents. So it's just a matter of knowing what to do,
Yeah.
basically. Just speak to someone. Yeah.
The thing is, it's very good advice.
Yeah.
And I wish everybody, especially here in UK, will probably take up that advice, especially people who come from the background where we come from, who take that advice.
Yeah.
And when you mention communication is a very, very good, important tool. But it also requires a fact that you get to where most parents are. When you invite them to come in, some of them might not want to come in because of the pressures that they have left and right. The issue is, how do you expand your organization so that you can involve everybody in? Because this will probably bring more people in.
Yeah. We have the facilities to accumulate all people, to welcome anyone that's willing to be a part of it.
Okay.
The whole idea is for us as a community, as Africans, as black people, we need to create a community.
Okay.
You see, youth centers are being closed
Oh, yeah,
everywhere,
yeah,
left, right,
yeah,
and center.
yeah.
They're all being closed because they were being used by the minorities. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
People are not thinking, but they're being closed because it's us, the minorities,
Yeah.
that use the facilities. So obviously,
Yeah.
maybe they don't want us to better ourselves, you know?
I think
That's what it is.
you're-
So
you're-
we can't just say, oh, all the youth centers have been closed down,
Yeah,
so let's also sit down. No.
You're going political, and the political side of it will say, hang on a minute, we'll probably give the money to the councils. It's
Yeah,
the councils
but-
that are closing. The councillors will tell you it's the councils. The,
You know,
the
it's a
education
cycle.
board will
You
tell
know,
you
exactly,
it's nothing
everyone's
to do
blaming
with
the
us.
other.
Yeah, but how do you guys survive? How is yours surviving in terms of how do you manage to survive?
Right now, we're just funding it ourselves,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. You're funding it.
Ourselves, yes.
Okay. Do parents have to pay some money
Parents,
in?
yes. If need being, if we need money, we speak to the parents, and the parents help us with the money as well.
Okay,
But the whole
okay.
thing is, we are financing it ourselves, and we just need to be active. Don't just sit down because all facilities are being closed down. That
Yeah,
you're also
yeah.
going to sit down. No,
Yeah, yeah,
you can create a community within yourselves. Within ourselves as black people, we can have a community of our own.
Yeah.
Whereby we can help our own youths, our own parents, our own selves, basically. You know, let's help ourselves. We can do it.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of standing up and taking action, because it's actually getting worse.
Yeah.
It is actually getting.
Yeah.
It's getting.
If they've
worse.
started getting younger, they're being knifed at such a lower age, and they cry.
Why would a 24-year-old knife a 13-year-old?
Yeah.
I mean, that's beyond belief. It is literally beyond belief.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
we just need to try and be a community. That's all we need to do. Let's create our own village, I should say, and raise our own youth, basically.
Yeah. Yamidi is trying to say something in regards to knife crime as well, and she's trying to suggest something in regards to knife crime, which is plaguing the country, and I think to give it a much more better coverage. Yeah. No, I thought I would catch the last few minutes of the show. That is Steve mentioning me. Guess you covered knife crime, which is currently plaguing this country. So she just stops there. But it's one of those things that I felt we had talked about, obviously, at the beginning here. Then someone called Mtono Atakonga. I think the parents partly take the blame. Yeah, it's something that again we've talked about here. Someone else, Omutono Katoge, we have talked about that because he's talked about parents. When you talk about kids losing their identity, we have to blame the parents. So many African parents also lose their identities when they come here.
Yeah.
They want to be English, forgetting that they are Africans. In the process, they get confused, and definitely the kids also follow. I think that's one of the things that you've talked about.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the
Because we
things that
believe our culture is backwards, or it's ancient. It's
okay.
No.
Some parents don't want anyone to talk to their children, even if they are your nephews or nieces. This is one of those other issues. Get trust, make them free, make them feel like you are listening and willing to see things their way. Well, these are some of the comments that people have given. They still continue quite Ali bin Mubarak. When children are in blame, they want to involve the whole family. Well, as part of, again, something that you've mentioned, bringing children to be part of the community, one shouldn't see it as a failure if not controlling your child. Children learn and change a lot with others, which is good.
Definitely.
According to,
which is what we're
the
trying to do,
community.
trying to get these youths together, because once they're together, they can relate. You know, most times when I'm with the elders.
Okay, the other thing is stigmatizing is within our culture. The fear of being labeled as, well, dot, by own society prevents parents and victims from seeking help. You've come across these things anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
You've come across these things.
Definitely.
The key question is always going to be what we do. Because even if we are going to come, even if we are going to simply lecture to the parents, the practical side of it is the key, because people know what to do.
Definitely.
But how do they start? How do they go about doing it?
It's be part of a community. Let these kids.
Yeah.
You know, parents sometimes, when their children come with their friends at home, they tell them, "Go away. I don't want to see your friends there."
Yeah.
So they're gonna meet them outside.
Yeah.
But if you bring them closer, bring your youth together, closer, your child closer, and also you bring his or her friends closer as well, you can know who your child's friends are.
Yeah.
That way you can be able to notify that this youth is not good for my child.
Yeah.
So you tell your child, I don't want you to be
Involved with
so-and-so because this and that and that. But if you're part of a community, your child is going to be mixing with good people, basically, that have the same intentions, so that they can all relate together and communicate. So basically, you're going to know where your child is.
All the time, yeah.
All the time. But right now, what's happening is sometimes parents don't even know where their children are. They don't know where the children spend most of their time. But if you find them connected to something, doing something active, being active, doing something like productive, you know, involved with people with the same mindset, it will help them by far, definitely.
Because I think from what I've learned from here is time is the key factor here.
Yeah. As a parent, you can't blink.
Yeah, you can't blink.
You
the
can't
moment
blink
you blink,
as a parent. As a parent, you're not allowed to blink.
Yeah.
Once you blink, that's it.
Something goes wrong.
Something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, as a parent, you need to communicate to your child from at all times. Don't just come back and tell them to wash dishes and you know, why isn't the house hoovered or whatever. First, ask them how are they? How was their day? You'd be surprised what that child can tell you. I'm telling you, if you just ask that your child, how was your day? Not many parents ask that. They don't. They just come in. Why isn't the house hoovered? Why isn't this done? Why isn't that done? Because they've been stressed from work. So when they come back home, they're like ready to go. And then
but I find it, like I said, but sometimes my 13-year-old doesn't want to open up. And I said, well, tell me, how was your day? How is this? How is this? Fine. And I said, well, everything is fine. Then why are you moody? Why are you like that? Then I had to create some kind of joke or something like that, so that when she starts laughing and saying something, then I know slowly I can gather information out of her.
Definitely.
You know, but I don't know whether other parents do that.
Just keep doing activities together with them. You know, do activities with them. Go shopping with them. Go, I don't know, maybe go to the park with them. Go. Do something, go walk with them, you know, take them outside, not in the house, and communicate, you know. But if you just ask how was your day, they're like, fine, then you also walk.
You're saying,
that's how it's going to be like.
You're saying going to the park, people need money. People have to work.
I know you have to work, but at the same time, you have kids. You have kids, you need to give them time. They need time. If you don't give them time,
you need to work over time to make ends meet in this country, man.
I know, definitely. You need to work, but at the same time, your children need time as well. But that's why we're here as well. That's why the organization is there. So if you're going to work, just let them be a part of something productive.
Maybe another solution, we don't have kids.
But now here the only problem is they already have them. So that's why we're discussing this.
Because
they're already here.
Have one. or two or something like
Yeah,
that.
even that one can be- even that one can be
But you
troublesome.
find some families that the others have got 5, others have got 6. Those are too many eyes to watch.
Yeah, but even one can be troublesome.
You are.
Exactly. So, you know.
Seriously, if somebody wants to go about helping, because I've seen this quite a lot. A lady, her son was knifed to death in Hackney a couple of years ago, and she started an organization that is now helping other mothers and other, off the streets or something like that. She started an organization, but a question came up to her and said, "Look, at the time when things were going very well, of course, with her son, and her son was still alive, obviously." This organization that she started would never have been there. So it means even if things are going okay and you're a parent and you want to be part of, to contribute something, don't wait for a situation to get
Yeah,
out of
don't wait
hand. Yeah.
Definitely.
So be part of that situation. That's what you're trying to say.
Exactly.
And the key advice would be, what
Don't-
sort of message would you?
What message I would like to give
yeah.
is, don't wait for, like you just said it there,
Yeah, yeah.
don't wait for a problem to come for you to act.
Yeah.
You know, be
Yeah.
proactive. Act before the problem. Then maybe you can actually avoid that problem. Maybe you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
block your child from
Because there's a
getting
tendency
involved.
with most parents.
Yeah.
The moment things are okay, as far as his family is fine,
Yeah.
if the family is fine and there isn't any problem, he wouldn't even want to be part of any other activities outside
Definitely.
because he's all right.
You find so many parents saying, "Oh, me, I'm fine. You know, my kids are all right. My family is good."
Yeah,
but
yeah.
deep down, they don't know actually that their child might be suffering.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. You find out so many problems. We have right now. We're facing so many times kids are committing suicide.
Yeah.
You know, this is something that never used to be part of our
Yeah. Our
community.
Yeah.
You know, so all these things are a shock. So parents are like, how can a child be stressed? You know, they have everything. No. Sometimes they need family time. Sometimes they need you to listen, you know,
Yeah.
so they need someone to listen. So many times youths are being bullied, but then there's literally no one that can listen.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
they're
listen
looking
to
out
them.
for someone to speak to, and there's no one. So what do you expect? They're going to end up doing something.
I have a friend I went with to school way back in Uganda, and he lives in New York. He's been in New York for the last 20 years. I had one son and a daughter. Now, one day he was home, and he just decided to check and see what his son, he was 15 at the time, was doing. So he just, let me go and check his books and see how he's doing. And he shocked me by saying he found a gun, a small gun in his bag. So he got shocked, called the police. Obviously, they asked him a lot of questions. But then at the end of the day, he concluded, said, look, I better take this boy back. So he took him back to Uganda. I put him in a boarding school there. He didn't like it, but stayed in Uganda and worked, stayed in Uganda. Every holidays, he was always coming back to New York. But he liked it. And even he wanted to go back and live in Uganda. Where he's now a manager in one of the banks in America. But he constantly invests. He's invested in Uganda. He's done that. And he said, when I talked to him a couple of years ago, he told me that the best thing his father ever done for him was actually taking him to Uganda. Because he had got involved in drug with a group in America, these Mexicans and so on. And the area where they were living was not very nice. So in the end, it has a good ending anyway, because he's mannered boy, got all the manners from home and all that. I don't know whether you could advise anyone to
definitely.
do this as
It's
well.
very
huh?
advisable because actually, funny enough, you said that. I was speaking to one parent yesterday, and she's picking up her daughter from the airport on Sunday, and she's really excited because her daughter was also somehow, she noticed that she's starting to go astray.
Okay.
So she sent her back home. So, but now she's all excited because the way her daughter is communicating to her now, the way she's telling the stories her daughter is telling her, she can't believe that this is the same daughter she took to Uganda.
Yeah.
Because now the daughter has changed completely. She's well off now.
Okay.
So it worked for her as well. That's why she's all excited. She can't wait to see her. She told me, I can't wait for her to be part of our project because she can be an example to the rest of the youth.
Yeah, but then I think not defending the parents of the kids is that money has to come in, because when you look at these things again, you need to save quite some time. You need to save a lot of money. And when this friend was explaining to me, the New York friend, he was saying, look, I had to save a lot of money to take him to a boarding school back in Uganda. And I had to make sure that, even the money I would send to my other brother to look after him afterwards and all that. And, they had time of missing him during the times. And at time I nearly canceled the entire project, because I was missing him quite a lot, But not every parent can do that. Not every parent can do that.
Yeah, not every parent
it
can
requires
do
a
that.
lot of savings. So it's only if you find that it's in your interest anyway. I think you can always get the money.
Definitely.
Yeah. But how about if it's done in a group, say like your group now, and you say we arrange a trip for them to go, a fact-finding trip to Uganda. I
would be a
think
good idea.
Nigerians and Ghanaians have done that at one point.
We can do that. It can be done, but also, as a parent, I don't think if you're working, I don't think the cost for your child being back home for a year or 2 or 3, it wouldn't be expensive. It would not be. It would not be expensive.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
Because to me, parents fly off back home every summer. Some of them fly off 3 times. Some of them, so if you invest in your child, that's your child. That's your responsibility.
Okay.
You have to try every single option. Because if a problem came back home and they wanted £300, as a parent, you go whoop it out and send it. If your child wanted trainers for £20, £50, you wouldn't buy them. You'd be like, no. But if back home they called, oh, auntie, there's this such and such problem, you pick up, you take out that bank card and go and spend that money. You send it back home. So why not invest in your child?
I can see that there's a lady, Caroline in Amugai. I think she's saying something. Youth and crime is a deep issue that goes deeper than the community and parents. Often, or at times, also the community is misinformed. I don't know. Is that
the community is misinformed?
Yeah, misinformed about the youth.
Yeah, but yes, obviously some communities are misinformed, but what we're trying to do here is to try and find a solution. As a community, you cannot sit back because you're not informed, because you're not informed on that. But as a community, we have professionals, we have people that know how to deal with youth, that know what the youths are facing. Because most of us that actually doing this, organize this youth department, we're youth ourselves. So most of us have been through this. So we know what it is. Even me myself, I thank God every single day that I wasn't affected by knife crime, because all it needed was one decision for me to be involved.
Exactly. I remember the story you told about the being found in the car at that seminar.
Exactly.
I'd been found in the car, 4 boys, and the police stand up with guns.
Oh my! I'll never forget that day.
And it was quite amazing and very powerful, because most youth today would probably react in a different way.
Definitely.
That was really
powerful.
Crazy.
It was crazy. It was madness, because we were sat in the car in Brixton. Brixton days back in right now it's cleaned up a bit, but back in the days it was a bit rough. So we were sat in the car, like 3 of us sat in the car just talking. We're waiting for one of our friends who was somewhere, so we're waiting. Just talking. Before we know it, we're out of the car in handcuffs, police cars everywhere. We were like, we haven't done nothing, but obviously I knew I hadn't done nothing wrong.
Exactly.
So me, I was shocked. I was praying nothing gets found in the car. So I was thinking, is this car being searched? Have they been looking for this car? Because it was my friend's car. But then obviously they didn't find nothing, because my friends...
The policeman gave a very good explanation. I remember that.
Definitely.
Umar Mati, I think that's his name. Emulation steps directly from the 2 people that decide to have you. However, most parents are solely financially available and think that is enough. A sit down with your children is worth trying every time, and also showing them that you love them through giving hugs, kisses, often goes a long way to earn their trust. A small suggestion that therefore from me, a lot of parents have decided to ignore that by a long shot.
Exactly. So many parents.
That comes back to the presence, when they have to be present.
If you ask a parent, have you ever told your child you're proud of them?
Okay.
Not many parents would say, I've said that. Tell them, ask them, any parent, truthfully, tell me, have you ever told your child, I'm proud of you? Not many parents do that. Not many parents do that.
They only see the things they've done wrong.
Exactly, the things they've done wrong. But obviously, as a child, you do wrong. But obviously, it's a matter of dusting up, finding a solution to fix it. But obviously, keep telling them that you're proud of them.
Yeah.
You know, don't force them to do things that you want them to do. Find out what are they interested in, what do they like doing. Find out an activity they like doing, and then maybe do it with them, or just get them involved in it. You know, tell them you're proud of your child. If you know, if they get bad results, find out a solution. Like what? Sit with them, ask them what should we do to try and help better these results.
Yeah.
You know, if they've done good, tell them you're proud of them. You know, appreciate the good they've done. Don't just notice the negative. That can also help build that gap.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
definitely.
Which is, I could probably give an example of myself. My dad used never to say that he's proud of me when I played boxing, when I played football, whatever I was doing. But deep inside, he was really proud of me.
Definitely.
He would talk outside somewhere.
Africans
where
don't
I'm
open
not.
up.
Yeah.
African
He
parents
would- he
don't
would say,
open up. Yeah.
My uncle told me, "Oh, your dad was very happy. You did this." But I said, he hasn't told me that
Yeah,
he's done
exactly.
that. Yeah, but then I realized years later that when I was talking to him, when he came to visit me here in the UK, and I said, "Look, I remember this when I was 15," and he was laughing. He said, "Look, you know, the problem was we were never taught as parents, our generation were never taught to going down to say you love your child, you do this, would be like a sign of weakness.
yeah.
As a man, you're supposed to be above, you're supposed to say this, you are not supposed to, but the current generation,
The
is a
generation
different
now,
one.
they need to hear that.
They need to
They
hear
need to
that,
hear that.
and,
They
and be
need to
proud.
hear that and be proud. No, like, oh wow, my mom's proud of me.
Me,
That,
yeah.
that way they'll communicate
Yeah.
to you more. But if the only conversation you have is negative,
Yeah,
why
yeah.
haven't you hovered? Why haven't you done this?
Yeah,
This,
yeah.
this, that, complaining. No. Notice the good. Even imagine if you're working somewhere.
Okay.
And your manager, all they do is notice your negatives. When you do good,
Yeah, yeah,
they don't.
yeah.
You know, they don't appreciate.
Yeah.
Then what do you expect?
I think again it comes down to the generations,
Yeah.
and maybe a suggestion. We're coming towards the end of the program. A suggestion you would give to the parents, because what I've gathered from today is the parents are to blame. They are the key factor here, because children are children. You know, it's what you give is what you get. What you put in is what you gain.
Definitely.
Because if you put nothing,
Nothing,
you
you're
don't
not gonna
gain
get
anything.
nothing back.
You know,
You're not gonna
so
get nothing
it
back.
still comes back to the parents. What sort of message would we leave the parents with? Because as the youth who is seeing the youth in, day out, you have a lot.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The one thing is communication.
Yeah.
Communicate to your children, you know, give them identity, let them gain an identity. They are no English, you know, they will never be British. They are African first.
Yeah.
You know, they will never be, most of these youths, they expect to be treated as British or as white or whatever. You will never be treated as a white person if you're black. You know, just appreciate what you have.
Okay.
Appreciate what you have. You know, communicate to your children. That's the key thing. Speak to them. You know, find out how was their day. You know, what are they going through?
Yeah.
Their mind. You know, because most of these kids are troubled.
Yeah.
But gain them identity. Let them be a part of something. If maybe you as a parent, you're doing something back home, like for example, for me, I've got a charity back home.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
you did
I would-
mention that. Yeah.
I would love if my daughter grows up, if I have more children, I would love them to be involved in that, because that's something that's going to be relating them back to where they come from. They're going to know, like, oh wow, okay, this is where I come from.
Charity
you know?
begins at home,
Charity
as you
begins
said.
at
Yeah.
home, yeah, definitely. So let them know where they come from. If they're Nigerians, speak to them. You know, let them know what tribe they are. Let them, know what. Give them an identity. Tell them your story. Then they'll relate more. Definitely.
Okay. I just want to say thank you so much for coming to the program, and I wish maybe there was we had more time to
definitely.
cover, because this is one of the topics that's not going to go away.
Definitely
And
not.
in a current situation of knife crime and so on, I understand most parents, especially those with young children, are trying to look for solutions before the kids are even 10 years old. So you find them worried, especially there are people back from Africa. They're looking at that, and it's a genuine worry, which I can see from what people say here and there. Thank you once again
It's
for
all right.
coming
Thank
to the
you
show.
for having me as well.
Yeah, okay. I just want to say thank you for viewing us, and I do hope that we'll be together again next week for another edition of Africa Speaks. Thank you, and may God bless you.